Hey friends, welcome back. This is your composition video lesson. And before we get started taking our pictures, let me quickly go over all of the things that I've got set up here and then we'll get right to it. So in the window, I have a pop-up diffuser, just like I did in the lighting video lesson. To my left, your right, I also have the same white foam board as my bounce. In a minute, I want to show you what it looks like with and without this fill card, just to show you the amount of light that it brings to the photos. You may prefer to not use one actually. So I will show you what it looks like with and without so you can make that call for yourself. So the food that I have set up here, this is just a vegan chicken patty on a brioche bun with some sriracha sauce and some lettuce on the bottom. And I have that on a piece of natural parchment paper on another cutting board. I'm going to show you all of the pictures that I'm going to be taking in real time, and I'll show it to you on my phone. And then I will talk you through kind of my process and what I'm thinking. So right now I have this particular sandwich set up in a good position to take an overhead shot. Now it's kind of difficult to take pictures of sandwiches and things with buns in an overhead position because obviously that bun is obscuring the food that is underneath. But if you have it more in an open face position, or if you have the bun a little offset like this, I will show you through my phone so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. This makes it a lot easier to see because then you can actually see what other items are inside of the sandwich, especially that top piece. If it's something like a chicken sandwich or a burger or something with bacon or a really intricate sauce on top, you'll be able to see that really easily. Okay, so with my pop-up diffuser in the window and my fill card over here, we are now working with side light coming from the right side of the frame. So I'm just going to take a couple overhead shots just like this. I've got my level turned on. I'm going to get a few close up and a few farther away, very similar to how we did the waffle shoot in the video lesson for the lighting module. Take a few up top. Now I'm actually going to reorient my phone and I'm going to get a few backlight shots. We'll do a few farther away and close up. This particular level on the iPhone is actually really nice too, because if you want something to be perfectly centered, you can. And as far as composition goes for our shot here, not just the camera angle itself, but as you can see, we are working with kind of some diagonal lines here. So I've got the parchment paper turned at a diagonal in reference to the cutting board that it's on. This is just to add a little bit more visual interest to the shot, especially because with this particular setup, because it's a sandwich, I'm gonna want to keep it centered for the most part. So working with diagonal lines is really going to add a little bit more interest to the shot. So we don't have to worry about adding additional things to the shot. So now that we've got some overhead shots with side light and with backlight, I'm going to move into diner's perspective. So this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm actually just going to position myself like how I would look at the food, and I'm going to move my phone into that position. Now, I'm going to put my phone up a little bit here so you can see. Depending on what you've got behind you, especially if you're trying to do a backlight shot, you probably don't want to see your pop-up diffuser and your window in the shot. If you've got a really nice window and you've got a beautiful sheer curtain in front of it, it might look really nice, depending on what you're shooting. But for this particular scenario, I don't want that in the shot. So I'm going to do my best to get that out of the shot and to try to not get any of the edges of the table in the shot either. So I'm going to get a good diner's perspective with some backlight. Now I am going to get some diner's perspective with side light, but I'm going to have to come on the other side. So I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to come to the other side, and I'm also going to rotate this board because I've got the lettuce set up really nicely on the front. and I still want to be able to see that. So I'm going to turn this around, and you're going to have to see my back for a minute, but you will be seeing through my phone as well. So that's really going to help. Okay, so from my diner's perspective with my side light, as you can see, when I go to do diner's perspective here, you can see my wall, which is fine. You might have a really nice wall. You might have a really nice wall behind there. That's fine. My wall is just a white wall. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take a few shots here. And I'm also going to move my bun now to be on top of my sandwich. I'm going to rotate it a little bit so that I can see that lettuce on the front. There we go. We'll do some diner's perspective this way too. Now, this is not my favorite for obvious reasons. It doesn't look as incredible as I know that it can. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to move into a head-on position. And the best way to do this is to actually make sure you can see my phone. I'm actually going to turn my phone upside down. So now my phone is upside down and I'm holding it in my hand, and my thumb is going to be triggering the shot at the top of the frame now. So now I'm going to do a head-on shot, and as you can see, the level has changed from a crosshair to a line. That's really helpful. You can really get down and even tilt your phone just a little bit up. Do you see how much bigger the sandwich looks whenever you tilt your phone up just a little bit? I'm going to back up slightly because I really want to get some of that paper in the shot. Now, really quickly, what I'm going to do is I've got something hiding back here. Back here, I have a backdrop. So if you have a wall and you don't like it, or maybe there's a lot of things on your wall, you've got some personal pictures on your wall, or it's painted a color that you don't like, you can always use a backdrop. Now, you can buy these backdrops on Amazon. I actually made this one. You can make your own. And I will make sure in your resource sheet, so make sure you check that resource sheet. I'm going to link for you a lot of videos on how to make these backdrops because I figured out how to make these from some YouTube videos that I found really helpful. So I'm just going to lean this up against the window frame. Now, I'm not going to lean it up against the table. You can lean it up against the table if you want to. This is all a personal preference. So I actually don't like the table to be right up against the backdrop. There's something in a photo called the horizon line. And that's that line at the back of the shot. You'll usually see if it's the back of the table, or obviously in as you can think of a landscape picture, the horizon line, the natural horizon line. But your pictures will have a horizon line if you see the back of a table or you see some kind of indication of a break. So I don't like for the light to fill in that shadow completely at the break, at that horizon line. I like it to be a little bit farther back. Now, if I had something to prop it up farther back, I probably would. But right now I'm just going to prop it up probably 3 or 4 inches behind this table right here. So now let's move back up to the front. And I'm going to show you these pictures side by side too, so you can see what the backdrop really does in comparison. So now I'm going to level out my shot, get this nice and centered, and take some pictures. And now it looks completely different. There we go. Really liking that. So I'm going to put up on the screen really quickly so you can see the difference between my natural wall, my white wall back here, and the backdrop. And also, I'm going to take this backdrop down because I did tell you that I wanted to show you the difference that this fill card makes. So I really do want to show you just how different your shot will look if you do use and if you don't use a fill card. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to have to put my microphone down. So I'm going to put my mic down and I'm going to show you through my phone what it looks like with and without this fill card. And I'm also going to move it closer and farther away just so you can see how much of a difference that it makes, because that's going to change the look of your picture You may find that you do like a fill card, but you like it in a certain position. And so where you put it is going to really change not only the shadow in your picture, but also how evenly lit it is through the top of the picture. It'll all make sense. Let me show you really quick so you know what I'm talking about. All right. Such a big difference. And as you can see, that makes a huge difference. So now that we've got these pictures taken of this chicken or vegan chicken sandwich, let's hop into your editing module. We're gonna learn some really simple and easy techniques to edit your pictures. And then we're gonna hop right into editing all of the pictures that we've taken so far. And I can't wait to show you how to do that. But first, let's hop in to that editing module.